Okay, so good morning all. So we have completed all the experiments. So now we are not having any more experiments. So 10 experiments are enough. If college reopens, then we will think about it that we should do other two experiments on board or not. So it depends on time. I don't think so. Time will permit us to do more experiments. So this is the third last chapter. So in this chapter, we are having two topics. So most probably it will take 4 to 5 lectures to complete the syllabus also. So the syllabus will be also completed within 2 weeks. I think so. So in the last lecture, what we have covered, we have seen about cellular communication. So in that cellular communication, we have seen how the cells are there, how we going to transmit the message, how are making the calls. So we have seen those things. So the other man network is satellite communication, which is widely used in today's world. So you are using GPS, military are using satellite phones for the communication purpose. And lots of applications are there which is used in satellite communication. So it is also using the same type of technology, line of sight communication, for the communication purpose, which we are seeing in cellular communication. So they both are using the same type of communication technology for the communication purpose. Now there are various uses. So how the satellite are working. So we need to see all those things. So this chapter will contain the basic fundamental of satellite communication. How it is used, like we are using DTS services. So how DTS services are used, which kind of satellites we are using. We are having majorly we can classify the satellites in two categories. So we are going to see those categories. So here the overview are we are going to see the basics of satellites, types of satellites, and what will be the capacity of a satellite, the range. So there are two devices. One is used for from Earth, which is going to transmit or which is used to communicate or communicate through the radio broadcast, which is very far. So say for example, if your Earth is 360-degree, now if you are using mobile phone, your wireless communication or cellular communication, then you need a lots of antenna to communicate with each other. So to solve that problem, we have come up with a solution, satellite communication. In the satellite communication, we can cover the whole world with 3 satellites. So how they have done, just I will show you in Paint. So if you assume this is the Earth and this is one satellite, now this satellite can view up to this range. Second satellite can view up to this range, and third satellite can view up to this range. So now in this way, all these 3 satellites will cover the whole world. So if a person who is sitting here, he will made a request to this satellite. Now this satellite can communicate together. So now if they want to communicate or send the message, he will request him, and the second user is here, then he will able to talk. So in this way, the satellite communications are used. So now we are having two links here. So the one link which is used to send the message. So this is sender A. So this sender A is sending the message from Earth to satellite. So this is known as uplink. So one Earth stage sends the transmission to the satellite, that is known as uplink. Then the satellite transponder converts the signal and send down to Earth station, that is known as downlink. So other signal which is used to communicate. So here the user B is there. So this satellite is communicating with this one. So this is known as downlink. So this is two links are always there when you are using satellites. So what are the basic advantage of satellite communication? So the coverage area. So in the wireless communication, if you talk about cellular communication, it is having very less coverage area. But if you use satellite communication, your coverage area is increased greatly. So you have seen this figure that you can cover the whole world with three antennas, with three satellites. So here the second advantage, the satellite cost of a satellite is independent of the distance from the center of the coverage area. So whether you are standing anywhere in the world, the cost will remain same. It is not going to increase. Third one is the communication between two satellites is very precise. So it is means you can say it is have a precision up to 10th point of your decimal. Higher bandwidths are available, which you can use in the satellite. So that's why you can able to use HD channels in your DTH services. The disadvantage of satellite communications are the launching of a satellite into the orbits are very costly. So now we are widely using the satellite communication, so the bandwidth is become used up. So a lots of bandwidth is going to be used. And second problem, the satellite signal is coming from very far. So you need to correct those signals. So we are using almost 50% overhead bits to correct that data. So we are having 50 overhead bits, 50% overhead bits, which is used to detect and correct the errors in your received data. There is a larger propagation delay in satellite communication than the terrestrial communication because the signal is traveling from like almost 36,000 kilometers from Earth station to satellite. Again, 36,000 kilometers from satellite to Earth. So just I am giving you a figure that it may travel up to this. It may be less than this one also if you are using the other satellite, different types of satellites. So this may be the another case will be there. So before moving to other things, let's watch a video which is relevant to satellite communication, how it is going to work, and then we will move to the factors which is affecting the satellite communication.
Satellite. A satellite is any object that revolves in a curved path around a planet. There are two major types of categorization when it comes down to satellites. One is natural satellite, and the other is artificial satellite. natural satellite is any celestial body in space that orbits around a larger body. Satellites that are made by people and launched into orbit using rockets are called artificial satellites. Launching an artificial satellite. The launching a satellite into orbit involves two-steps process. First, the satellite has to be taken to the desired altitude. Then, it has to be pushed off at the right velocity to begin and maintain its orbit. To launch a satellite in an orbit around the Earth, launch vehicle, such as a rocket or a space shuttle, is used. A launch vehicle travels straight up only for the first few seconds of its flight. A satellite launch vehicle is a multi-stage rocket. It also contains several smaller booster rockets. The boosters give the rocket its initial thrust during launch and carry the vehicle through the early part of the flight. As the fuel in the boosters is used up, the rocket fall away and the other boosters take over. Each time a booster is dropped, the vehicle gets lighter, so it can travel faster. When it finally reaches the proper altitude and speed, it releases the satellite into the orbit. How a satellite works. Satellite communication consists of three main components: uplink, satellite transponder, downlink. An uplink earth station or other ground equipment transmits the desired signal to the satellite. This satellite transponder amplifies the incoming signal and changes the frequency. This satellite transponder transmits the signal back to downlink earth station, and the ground equipment receives the signal. Satellite communication uses ground stations to send and receive microwave signals between artificial satellites, which are in orbit around the Earth. Types of satellite orbits. By inclination, there are three kinds of satellite orbits: equatorial orbit, inclined orbit, and polar orbit. Equatorial orbit. An equatorial orbit is when the satellite rotates in an orbit directly above the equator, usually in a circular path. It has an inclination of 0 degrees. Inclined orbit. Inclined orbits are virtually all orbits except those that travel directly above the equator or directly above the north and south poles. The angle of inclination vary between 0 to 180 degrees. Polar orbit. A polar orbit is when the satellite rotates in a path that takes it over the north and south poles in an orbital pattern that is perpendicular to the equatorial plane. Polar orbiting satellites follow a low-altitude path close to Earth's surface, passing over and very close to both the north and south poles. The angle of inclination of a satellite in a polar orbit is nearly 90 degrees. basis of the altitude from Earth. The types of orbits are classified into low Earth orbit, medium Earth orbit, and geostationary Earth orbit. Low Earth orbit. Low Earth orbit satellites operate at a distance of about 160 to 2,000 kilometers above the Earth's surface. It takes approximately 90 to 120 minutes to circle the Earth. Medium Earth orbit. Medium Earth orbit is the region of space around the Earth above low Earth orbit and below geostationary orbit. The orbital periods of medium Earth orbit satellites range from about 2 to 6 hours. This satellite operates at altitudes between 2,000 kilometers and 35,786 kilometers above the Earth's surface. Geostationary Earth orbit. A geostationary satellite is an Earth-orbiting satellite. It placed at an altitude of approximately 35,786 kilometers directly over the equator, that revolves in the same direction the Earth rotates, that means west to east. This satellite takes 24 hours to orbit the Earth. Orbits are also classified into two types on the basis of the shape: circular orbit and elliptical orbit. Circular orbit. Circular orbit is the orbit with a fixed distance around the barycenter, that is, in the shape of a circle. This orbit has an eccentricity of 0. There are several types of circular orbits, and they include geostationary orbit, polar orbit, and equatorial orbit. Elliptical orbit. An elliptical orbit is the revolving of one object around another in an oval-shaped path called an ellipse. The eccentricity of an elliptical orbit is greater than 0 but less than 1. Sometimes these satellites are closer, and at other times they are farther away from Earth. The closest point a satellite comes to Earth is called its perigee. The farthest point is the apogee. The most common example of elliptical orbit is highly elliptical orbit. Types of artificial satellites. Navigation satellite. A satellite navigation system used to determine the ground position of an object. It determines the geographic location of ships, aircrafts, or any other object. It is also vital to military forces. It is often used for gathering intelligence used for military purposes or as a military weapon. The major satellite navigation systems. The navigation satellite system with global coverage is called Global Navigation Satellite System, or GNSS. The United States was the first country to introduce satellite technology with the Global Positioning System, or GPS. Another ambitious global navigation satellite system aside from GPS in development is the Galileo system in Europe. Russia also has its own satellite system, called the Russian Global Navigation Satellite System or GLONASS. In China, there is the Beidou Navigation Satellite System, which will consist of more than 30 satellites. There is the Indian Regional Navigation Satellite System or IRNSS in India. Lastly, the Quasi-Zenith Satellite System or QZSS is Japan's satellite system, which is similar to a GPS satellites with some slight variations. Weather satellite. Weather satellites are primarily used to monitor the weather and climate of the Earth, to predict daily weather conditions, such as temperature and rainfall, to monitor how weather conditions, like storms, hurricanes, cyclone, tropical storms, develop and change over time. Communications satellite. The communications satellite is a satellite that transmits the signals such as telephone, television, radio, internet signals over long distances. If you do like my channel, please subscribe, comment, share.
Okay, so this video will give you brief introduction about the satellite communication. What is the satellite communication? How the communication has been done? What are the different types of satellites are there? So this video have all the brief introduction which you need to know. Now, apart from this, we are having various losses where signal is traveling from one place to another place. So if you are transmitting the signal from the earth station to satellite or transponder, there will be some losses. And again, when the signal is traveling back from the transponder to earth station, there will be some loss. So when you are using uplink and downlink, the frequencies of uplink and downlink are always different. So normally the uplink is having the higher frequency than the downlink. Now, why is it so? Because if you transmit a higher frequency, you need to generate more power. Then only you can send that frequency or you can generate that frequency. And for as you know, satellite doesn't have the power generator, so he has to generate the power using batteries. So they are running on batteries. So if he using more power, then the battery drainage will be there, and it will be the battery will be damaged after few times. So it cannot be used. So the lifespan will become less. So to enhance the lifespan, what we are using higher frequency for the uplink and lower frequency for the downlink. So these definitions we have already seen in the video. So just we will go through it, the definitions, different definitions of the angle. So first one is the elevation angle. So this can be defined as the angle of the horizontal of the Earth's surface to the center line of the satellite beam. So what this effect? This affect the satellite's coverage area first. So normally for any kind of satellite, the elevation angle should be 0 degree. so that all the stations which are present on the Earth is visible directly from that satellite. So there's the environment factors like objects, atmospheric attenuation, like I have told you that different losses are there, that is known as free space losses, and other losses, antenna losses are there. So if you increase the elevation angle, the losses is going to be increased. So there is a formula for that. So that formula can be used to calculate the attenuation. Second, the factors is coverage area. So it's a measure of the Earth's surface visible from the satellite tracking. So that particular satellite, how much area he is covering, that can be calculated by the given formula. So here R is equals to Earth station, which is equals to 6370 kilometers. And other things is already given, defined. Beta is the coverage angle, that is the height of satellite, orbit of satellite. So we have seen different orbits are there. So dependent on the orbit, your coverage area is going to be varied. And theta is elevation angle. So you can see the elevation angle is one of the factor which will affect the coverage angle. So that's why it's very important to have a elevation angle equals to 0 degree. So other impairments in the satellite communication, or you can say the other problems in the satellite communications are free space losses, that I have discussed with you, that if you transmitted a signal from Earth station to the transponder, then there will be some losses. So these losses occurs due to, because as we know, the air is having its own impedance. So whenever the signal is traveling from the impedance, there will be some attenuation will be there. So due to that attenuation, the signal strength will become smaller as it reaches to satellite. So this is known as attenuation, and if it is occurred in the free space, so it is known as free space losses. Second one is satellite footprint. So that means the satellite which is present at the zero elevation angle, the strength at the zero elevation angle is maximum. As you move little bit farther from that elevation angle, your strength, because the signal strength of the satellite become weaker and weaker. And third one is atmospheric attenuation, so which can be occurred due to the weather, like if it is a rainy weather or if it is a cloudy weather, so it can attenuate your signals more. So or if you are in jungle, so that absorption rate will be higher. Now we are having a lot bigger buildings, so due to the buildings we are having reflections of signals are there. So lots of problems occurs due to this kind of thing in the satellite communication. So there are three types of services which are provided by the satellite. First is fixed service satellites, that is used for the point to point communication. Second is broadcast satellite services. Broadcast service satellites, like this is used in the satellite television, radio. It is also called as DBS, direct broadcast service, so which is used in your DTH TVs. So this kind of services will be provided by the satellites, and this services is known as broadcast services. And the last services is known as mobile service satellite. We are using satellite phones for that purposes. So normally this service is utilized by the military. And fixed services satellite is also provided for the military purpose, for gathering the images and all those things, locations and all those things. So there are different types of satellites which has been defined by the orbit. So they are defined by there are 5 satellites that we have seen in the video: GEO, LEO, MEO, Monosphere orbits, and HAPS. So we are going to see each satellite in brief, and then we will last closely with the frequency band. So first we will start with the geostationary Earth orbit. So these satellites are placed at 35,863 kilometers above the Earth's surface. So normally we tell that it is placed at a 36,000 kilometers from the Earth. So it will take 24 hours to complete the whole revolution around the Earth. So Earth is also taking the 24 hours to complete its own revolution. So that's why the geostationary Earth orbit satellites are taking 24 hours. So now we discussed about the different advantages. So it is placed at the farthest place. You can say 36,000 kilometers from the Earth. So the coverage area is maximum in this case. Now, what will happen in geosatellite area? It is moving along with your Earth. So it is almost 24 hours available for a particular area. So say for example, some satellite is there which is available for Rajkot. Then for 24 hours, 24 cross 365 days, it is available for Rajkot because it is moving with the same pace as the Earth is moving. So this kind of thing will make this satellite appropriate for broadcast broadcast services. So that's why the normally geostationary satellites are used for broadcasting. The disadvantages of geostationary satellites. So we are having a very long distance. We are having around 36,000 kilometer distance. So the delay is more, and the signal will be very weak when it is reaching to the Earth station. Now it is almost nearer to the equator, so broadcasting signal nearer to polar regions are very good, and if it is farther from that polar region, then it is very weak. So these are the different disadvantages. The second orbit is low Earth orbit. So it is much closer present to the Earth. So it is present around 500 to 1500 kilometers above the surface. So you can see the distance of the LEO or satellites which is present in the LEO orbit is almost half of that distance. So you can see the coverage area will be going to decrease in this case. Now what will happen? The revolution, or you can see the range, I'll say for example satellite is present over Rajkot, so it will be available for 15 to 20 minutes maximum. Then it will move to the next place because the signal will be not visible because it is moving, the satellite is moving at the higher speed than the satellite Earth revolution. So it will take around 1 hour to 2 hours to complete its own revolution. So you can see, so that's why for a small period it will be available. So in geostationary we can cover the complete Earth with 3 satellites, but for the LEO satellites we need more than 3 satellites to cover the whole area of Earth. So if you see the advantages of LEOs, the satellite which is present in the LEO, it will give the better signal as compared to the geostationary satellite. So it is make him appropriate for point to point communication. So it is having the lesser coverage area. but due to the lesser coverage area, you will get the higher bandwidth. So if you see the disadvantages for increasing the number of satellites, you need to place larger number of satellites. So it will require lots of cost. So it will be costlier than Geo. So LEO satellite have compensate for the Doppler shift, which is due to the relative movement. So this is a, you can say, kind of error is there. Doppler shift is a kind of error which is mostly present in the LEO satellites. So normally these satellites are present in the atmospheric nature, which is present around this Earth. So that's why the atmosphere drag, or you can say the change in the temperature or atmosphere, will deteriorate the signals so that you can't able to communicate properly in this range. So this is about the LEO. Then MEO, medium Earth orbit. So it is placed at the 8,000 to 18,000 kilometers above the Earth's surface. So it is mostly, the properties are very much similar to the LEO. It is available for a particular duration larger than the previous one. So previous one is available for 15 to 20 minutes. This will be available to around 2 to 8 hours. So depends. If it is around 8,000 kilometers, so it will be available for 2 hours. If it is 18,000 kilometers, then it will be available for 8 hours. So as you see, as you going to increase the height, the satellites present for the particular location is going to increase, and it is having the higher coverage area. So if you see the advantage, longer duration visibility for the particular place, and it is having a weaker signal as compared to the LEO. That is only its advantage. Then Mono orbit satellites, that is used for the used by the Russia only, and it has been used for lots of periods. Means it has started many years back. So when they have implemented, they have used this technology. So it's an elliptical orbit. So it is not moving in the circular direction. So it is moving in the elliptical way. So which we have seen in the video. So it is having a apogee and perigee. So apogee is the nearest distance from the Earth, and perigee is the farthest place which is available from the Earth. So this satellite is available for 8 hours for the particular place, and it acts like a geo satellite. So it is only used for the polar regions. So we can see Russia is near to South Pole, North Pole, so that's why it is used there. Then the last is high altitude platform. So it is the means newest ideas which is implemented in satellite communication. So it is a plane around 20 kilometer above the Earth's surface, which is used as a satellite. So it is having a very small coverage area, but a very strong strength will be there. So it is a very cheaper way to position that satellite, but require lots of network, because we need a lots of HAP satellite to communicate between them, because the coverage area is going to decrease. Now, if you see the bands which is present in the satellite communication, that is L band, which is from 1 to 2 megahertz. So MSS mobile satellite service, that is using this one. Then second one is S band, that is available from 2 to 4 gigahertz. That is also used in mobile satellite services. Then C band, that is 4 to 8 gigahertz, that is used in the fixed satellite services. Then X band is also used in the fixed satellite services, but in the terrestrial imaging and for the military users. So the X band is not available for all the people. Ku band is used for the satellite service, fixed satellite services and broadcast satellite services. So we are using those services. Now K band and Ka band is used for the fixed satellite services, and K band is also used for the broadcast services. So these are the different service or frequency range which is used in the different services of different satellite services. Now we have seen how to enhance the bandwidth or how to utilize bandwidth effectively. So here the frequency division multiple access and time division multiplex access is used to occupy more number of signals given the particular bandwidth. So you can use these two techniques. So we are having little bit more advantages is using TDMA over the FDMA. So we are going to see that thing. So here in FDMA, what we have did, we are having a particular frequency band. That frequency band will be divided into small ranges, small frequency bands. Those are known as channels. And due to which you will able to reuse the frequency, which you have seen the frequency reuse concept we have seen in the cellular communication. So we can see that kind of technology is also using in this FDMA also. So the number of channels are limited by the three factors. First one is the noise, which is present, intermodulation noise, and crosstalk. So if you are having a too strong signal or very high moving signal, then there will be a crosstalk and intermodulation. So to avoid that, you can use lesser frequency signals. So FDMA you can perform in the two ways: fixed assignment for the multiple access. That means you can assign fixed frequency for the particular user, and second you can assign on the demand base. So if demand is there, then you are going to assign. Now TDMA. So here what we will do, we each packet will get a particular duration of time. So that is known as time division multiple access. So mostly in all the type of satellite communication, we are using TDMA technology. So it is similar to FDMA, but the difference is that the FDMA work on the frequency domain and TDMA works in the time domain. The different advantages of TDMA are digital equipment used in the time division multiplexing is increasing, and it will be cheaper as compared to FDMA. If you are using this technique, there will be a lot more chances to use error detection and correction code. So we have already implemented lots of code which is available for error correction detection in TDMA. For FDMA, we are having very less number of codes which can be used to correct that code. So in TDMA, the noise will be lesser. Intermodulation noise will be lesser. So this is all about the satellite communication. So this chapter is over. So now in the next lecture, we are going to start the next chapter. So we have completed the 7th chapter. Now we will start with the communication technology. So Bluetooth we have already covered in the lab. So we are not going to cover the Bluetooth. So we will cover Ethernet, Wi-Fi, RF, infrared, Zigbee, and near field communication. So these topics we are going to cover in the next session. So one lecture is already over, Bluetooth. So we need maximum 2 lectures to complete and 3 lecture to 4 lecture to complete this topic. So maximum 6 lectures. So within 2 weeks, your syllabus will be over. Now, if you are having any doubt, you can ask. I am taking your attendance meanwhile. You can call me in evening, Pathik. uh, what you can do, you can install the TeamViewer, so I can access your PC and I will see that problem, what is happening over there. So big data 1,
Present, sir.
2,
Yes, sir.
3,
Yes, sir.
4,
Present, sir.
5, 6,
Present, sir.
7,
Yes, sir.
8, 9,
Present,
10,
sir.
10, 11,
Present, sir.
12,
Sir, BD5 present.
12, 13,
Yes, sir.
AI1,
Present, sir.
2,
Present, sir.
3, 4,
Yes, sir.
5,
Yes, sir.
6,
Present, sir.
7,
Present, sir.
8,
Present, sir.
9, 10,
Sir, 10 present.
12, 13,
Present, sir.
15,
Present, sir.
17, 18,
Present, sir.
19,
Present, sir.
20,
Present, sir.
21,
Present, sir.
22, 23, 23, 24,
Present, sir.
20, 25, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29,
Present, sir.
30,
Present, sir.
31,
Present, sir.
31, Natik,
Sir, 24 present, sir.
तो नैतिक
22,
32 है
32, 33, 34,
Present, sir.
35,
Present, sir.
36, 37,
Present, sir.
38, 39,
Yes, sir.
40,
present
41, 43,
Present, sir.
44, 45,
Yes, sir.
46,
Yes, sir.
47,
Present, sir.
present sir
48,
Present, sir.
Sir, 44 present, sir. Sir,
Present, sir.
sir, 44 present, sir.
49, हाँ done, 50,
Sir,
Present, sir.
50, हाँ बोलो,
sir,
51 present.
51 present. 52,
Present, sir.
53, 54,
Present, sir.
55,
Present, sir.
56,
Yes, sir.
57,
Present, sir.
58,
Present, sir.
59, 60, 61, 62,
Yes, sir.
63,
Present, sir.
64, 65, 67,
Present, sir.
68,
Present, sir.
69,
Sir.
73.
70.
Sir.
Yes. Bolo.
73, sir. I'm here.
73 is there. Okay. Anyone else?
Sir.
Yes.
Sir, AI 32.
हो गया है 30
37.
37 हो गया 37 भी हो गया 32 भी हो गया
27.
27 हो गया सन में
सर
हाँ मोहम्मद
सर वो जो हमारा क्विज है ना 26 को उसका लास्ट डेट है
हाँ
सर मैंने एक बार किया लेकिन मतलब उसके बाद एक्सेस नहीं हो रहा है सर
कौन सा क्विज आपने अटेम्प्ट किया जो नहीं हो रहा है एक्सेस
वही जो आपने भेजा जो कैनवास पे जो हमारा रोल नंबर से मतलब लिंक दिया है उसके बाद अकाउंट खोलना है उसके बाद उधर वहीं से करना है लेकिन मैंने एक ही बार